I'm Rebecca Kerstetter from Boston, and I'm going to talk about the easiest way to start a singles group at your church. And I'm going to talk about how to do this, even if you're an introvert, even if you don't know any other singles at church. We're going to try and make it possible for anyone. The secret's really simple, but the mechanics of how to get there is what makes it work. Because I'm going to say the answer is just start eating out once a month with other Christian singles. But I know that's harder to do than it is to say, but I break it down for you. So stay with me. If you go to a church leader and you say, you know what, I'd like to take the time once a month to clear my schedule after church. If there's any Christian singles that want to go out that day, it's going to be a very inclusive group. This is not about cliques. This is not about dating. This is about anyone who came to church. They want to just go have lunch for Christian fellowship. I'm willing to be that person that will help organize it. So you start there. This so far, Rebecca, doesn't sound possible for me because there's just me. That's too awkward. What if someone of a different gender, what am I supposed to do? Take them out to lunch by myself? That's awkward. Or I'm an introvert. There's no way all by myself am I going to do this. Well, then try step 3. Inform your pastors, because you went to your leader, right? You went to your pastor or your leader saying, I'd love to help in this way. After they're like, oh, that sounds great. Thanks for having a heart to do this. Then you say, I think it would work best if there was, at least 2 guys and 2 ladies involved in the planning of it and often able to attend, because that's absolutely true. It would be great if there was always at least 1 lady and 1 guy guaranteed to go out that day from the church to love on whoever was new or whoever else could opt in. And then you do the piece that probably makes the biggest difference. You ask your church leaders, who do they suggest? Who do they suggest? Because whoever they suggest is going to be someone amazing. It's going to be someone that they know about because that person shows up consistently to serve, because that person is known to be loving to others, to be mature in their faith. You might not know of other Christian singles in your church, but I bet either the pastors, or if they're not super sure, maybe the volunteer coordinators underneath them, they know, especially because singles are so great at volunteering and serving. Someone out there managing the volunteers, they know a lot of great singles, and many of them are extroverts. So if you're an introvert, here's my tip to you. You can even say, and while you're at it and suggesting people, would you mind making sure a few of them are extroverts? Because I don't mind doing the logistics. I can, print out the directions for people. I can pick the restaurant, and I can come along for the ride and be a kind conversationalist. But I'd really love to have a wing person who's an extrovert. And I think for most churches, they're going to know more than 3 people to recommend to you to join you in this. And it only takes a couple of you to get this started. So for our last slide, just some quick logistics. I think it's helpful to meet in the same corner of the church each day after the service to connect before heading over, rather than kind of expecting them to just hear an announcement on church and get in the car and drive and repark and walk into a restaurant, not even knowing who they're meeting, what's the makeup of the group, how do I even recognize them and find them? That's just very awkward. Remove that barrier by just letting people come have a touch point. They get to see you, you can answer any last minute questions. They have an idea of, do they feel like they would be comfortable to go eat with this group? So that's a really nice, consistent thing to do. And then finally, once you've gotten it going a bit, right, even if it's just 4 or 5 of you on a regular basis, that's a beautiful thing. That's a fun group of friends. It's having someone to eat with after church. You can now go to the pastors and say, you know what, this has been working well. Would you be willing to put a little comment on the website somewhere? That could be nice. Or maybe it's on the overhead projector when it's that particular Sunday. And then you can always do a Facebook group, just an impromptu one. It doesn't even have to link to the church website. And over time, when they're Googling, Boston Christian singles or your city's name, Christian singles, your Facebook group might show up and they'll be like, oh, wow, huh, if I visit this church on this day, I'll be able to connect with other Christian singles. And now your group is probably a lot more than five. And you're serving a lot more people. God bless you. Bye.